Hello and welcome. In our programme tonight, the All-Ireland Under-21 hurling final. Could the young stars of Cork and Galway produce a game that would match the spirit and excitement of last Sunday's senior final? Well, that's our big game tonight, a match that will be analysed for us by Tomás Mulcahy and by Eamon Cregan. Their views on the final a little bit later on. We'll also be naming our man of the match from this afternoon's encounter. A match that was a repeat of last year's semi-final pairing. Galway had the better of it on that occasion and went on to win the All-Ireland. Could they successfully retain their title? Cork needed no incentive for today's final. They knew that with only one minor and one senior title this decade, the county's hopes rested on their shoulders. And following defeat to Galway in the minor final 3 years ago, a victory today would exorcise that ghost. For Galway, however, retention of their under-21 title was the objective. And with 12 of last year's victorious squad, they certainly weren't lacking experience. Eugene Cloonan was last year's goalkeeper, but he now spearheads the Galway attack and would have to have a good game if Galway were to win. Well, although Clare's win in last Sunday's senior final was naturally enough the highlight of the hurling year, there were still two major trophies to be won, the National League and the under-21 titles. Galway, of course, involved in both of those, and looking to these matches to put some silverware on the sideboard from a season that's already seen their senior and minors defeated. For Cork, however, this was to be their last shot at a major title for 1997. So, who would have the greater hunger? Our commentator, a thirdist, was Ger Canning.
Hard to believe it, I know, but this time last year, Eugene Cloonan was Galway's under-21 goalkeeper. But he's always been a lethal forward, and in this year's semi-final against hapless Derry, he scored 3 goals and 10 points. Galway were able to start with 12 of the side that convincingly beat Wexford in last year's final. Incidentally, the newcomers are Nigel Murray in goal, Rory Gantley in midfield, and Martin Cullinan on the 40. The big worry was the hamstring injury troubling Kevin Broderick. As it happens, he's sufficiently recovered to take his place. Cork danger man Joe Dean scored the all-important goal in the semi-final 2 weeks ago. He's gained a deserved reputation at senior level as a player to mark down for the future. The Leesiders make just one change from that match in Dungarvan. Fit again, Darren Ronan takes up his position at full forward, to the exclusion of Sean Farrell, scorer of 2 points a fortnight ago. That win was built from the back, where Cork's defence, in particular Diarmuid O'Sullivan, were quite outstanding, and including Dan Murphy, the captain, and star wing half, Sean O'Halpine. The referee, Pat Horn, from Offaly getting this match underway. It's a very pleasant afternoon at Semple Stadium. Galway are playing with the wind at their backs for the opening 30 minutes. Straight away, Derek Barrett back there, the wing back almost dispossessed by Alan Kearns. Going back to rescue Cork in this first instance is Wayne Sherlock. Gathered in there by Austin Welsh. John Brown having difficulty getting that ball away, up towards Eugene Cloonan. Again, it's Austin Welsh. Galway exerting the early pressure, and Cork looking a little nervous. Wayne Sherlock with the clearance. Nicely out here towards the man they call Johnny Flynn. Joe Dean across over there. Greg Kennedy in marking Joe Dean this afternoon. That should be quite a contest. A real hustling start to this match from both sides. It ends up being a sideline ball. Caught him very well indeed. Again, Cork trying to create sufficient space here with Darren Ronan. Never got in his shot, however. And that's Gordon Glynn, well blocked down. Johnny Flynn with the block. Game yet to really settle down. Pat Ryan trying to get it in for Cork. The hand pass there was by Mickey O'Connell. Great eagerness being demonstrated by players on both sides so far. Finbar Gantley back there. 2 Gantley brothers, of course, in this Galway team. In towards Darren Ronan. Can be such a danger man. His first chance, swinging away to the left. First wide of the match. Nigel Murray pucking that one out for Galway. He's behind him, remember. That is Fergal Healy. Over towards Alan Kearns again, who's got 2 goals and a point against Derry. This time it's Galway who get the free for a chop-down tackle. Here's a player who's already played in an All-Ireland club final. Cloonan's shot is good. It's gone over the bar. First free, first point, and Galway take the lead. Good defensive clearance. Finbar Gantley coming across here, played well against Kilkenny in the quarter-final this year in the championship. Pat Ryan picking up an unmarked man. That's Johnny Flynn. Good shot. That's got over the bar. It's the equaliser. Good point by Johnny Flynn, and it's a point apiece. This is how that came about. There was very loose marking there, just as Johnny Flynn took that ball up, and a very good score results. Rory Gantley breaking it down to himself. Pat Ryan chasing after him. Up towards Ollie Canning's corner. Comes back towards Kevin Broderick. Young senior star as well. Diarmuid O'Sullivan has now gone back to the full-back position to mark Eugene Cloonan, and Cloonan from that very acute angle has found the range. 2 points now for Eugene Cloonan, that the first from play, and Galway back in front again. Again it comes in towards the big two. Diarmuid O'Sullivan, Eugene Cloonan, Wayne Sherlock unable to take it up, Kearns instead. Good chance for Galway. Oh, right across the face of goal. Alan Kearns with an excellent chance. Galway's third wide, and this should have been a score. Once he got inside that time, Kearns, great craftsman, that time unable to finish. Austin Walsh. Rory Gantley. This could be a very good match indeed. Alan Kearns, Cork's full-back, still on the ground all this while, right in front of goal. Alan Kearns trying to make headway there. Sherlock after him, linking up back there neatly. And the ball has gone over the bar off the stick there of Fergal Healy. Another score for Galway. This, the incident that led to the score again. Nicely taken back to Fergal Healy. And well dispatched. Vinnie Murphy under it, so too there is Rory Gantley. It's picked up here by Mickey O'Connell. Laying it off here towards Austin Welch. Towards Joe Dean, making a diagonal run across. So too alongside him is Greg Kennedy. Couldn't get his clearance out first time. Back to Dean again. Lovely pick up, Joe Dean here. And it's in the back of the net. The man with the goal touch does it again in the 12th minute. Greg Kennedy unable to get his clearance out. It fell neatly for Joe Dean. In he went, shortened the grip on the stick, and a flashing shot away to the corner. Dan Murphy under it, takes it very well with his left hand. Completes a very good clearance back down towards the goal scorer. And that time Joe Dean adjudged to a foul Greg Kennedy. Well, the constant worry from a Galway point of view going into a final such as this is that they haven't been tested this year. Peter Hubin. Nicely caught inside there. Cullinan, the player with the shot, and he's put it over the bar. The umpire seemed to change his mind there. Martin Cullinan, the point scorer, and they're going in to have a little consultation on that one. He certainly did wave it wide initially, then seemed to indicate that it was a score. Watch the man on the right behind the goal here. After a moment he waved it wide and then indicated that it may have hit the top of the post and gone over. The point has counted in any case, and the sides are level. Back downfield there by Brian O'Driscoll. Peter Hubin. Low back out only as far as Timmy McCarthy. Galway's backline not getting in good clearances so far, and Dean was nearly in for a second. Nigel Murray. It's an exciting match. Martin Cullinan again on the 40. This time the race for possession won by Diarmuid O'Sullivan. He left Eugene Cloonan behind him. Up towards Timmy McCarthy, batted back out that time by Michael Healy. Swiftly away by Vinnie Marr. Out only as far as Austin Welch, the midfielder for Cork. Still they build. A shot that's gone over the bar. That's a great score by Brian O'Driscoll. He made a move across from right to left, and Cork take the lead once again by 1-2 to 4 points. Well, he popped up at left, half forward, wearing the number 10, straight in front of goal. He drives it over the bar. That's a good catch. This is Gordon Glynn. Looking for another score for Galway. That's wonderful stuff. Gordon Glynn then tying it up once again. We talked about last week's match, but this is turning out to be a wonderful contest. Low down into space, one for Jodine to race onto. Player who'll be young enough for under-21 again next year against 3 Galway players. And the referee racing in there. Vinnie Marr contesting for that one there. Out by Greg Kennedy. Pat Ryan trying to take it up, having possession there, the man from Sarsfields. That's going to be a free into Cork. This free about to be taken by Mickey O'Connell, who scored 4 points in the semi-final of the Under-21 Championship last year against Galway. Today looking for his first, 45 metres out. And that's gone right between the posts. First free, first point. And Cork have a 1-point lead once again. View of the Cork bench there, some of their mentors. Marr again trying to get after that one, along with Fergal Healy. Michael Healy. Oh, he leaves it behind. Pat Ryan with the shot. And Pat Ryan has put it right between the posts. Young man from Sarsfields who play in this year's Cork County Senior Hurling Final. It's 1-4 to 5 points. Well, this is where Michael Healy should have got his clearance in, but the Castlegar man left it behind to Ryan, and that was enough. Gordon Glynn again, trying to take it up onto his stick. Denied space, Johnny Flynn in there. Flynn takes it up, well blocked down there by Liam Hodgins, the Galway captain. Greg Kennedy misses it. Peter Huban's first touch also leaves him down. That's Darren Ronan. The Galway defence having problems against the Cork attack so far. Now Timmy McCarthy, held. Fouled by Michael Healy, and that'll be a free from the 20-metre line. This the reason why, as that ball was hit ahead there by Darren Ronan. It was Timmy McCarthy was advancing, and that's a dangerous challenge. The free taker once again is Mickey O'Connell from Middleton. What an easy one for him. His second point, and Galway now trail by 3 points. It's Cork 1-5, Galway 5. So that Jodine goal after 12 minutes separating the teams. But Galway having to give second best for most of this first half. Here comes Sean O'Halpine, and remember Cork are playing against the wind in the opening 30 minutes. The hand pass from McCarthy. Running into the challenge, still getting loose. He's got Jodine. Jodine coming into the picture. They've also got a man in front of goal, Darren Ronan. And Ronan touches it in. And the positioning of Darren Ronan as that was coming across will be interesting to see again. But the goal credited to the man from Ballyhay. 21 minutes gone. Now just where was Ronan when this ball was being fed inside here by Jodine? Comes off the goalkeeper and back out to Ronan, a very valid goal indeed. But the Galway backline have been under incessant pressure, and the forwards have not been able to hold it up sufficiently just to give the backs a bit of breathing space. That's Wayne Sherlock, having difficulty taking it up into the hand, needing assistance. The other corner man there also from Blackrock is John Brown. Sherlock facing back towards his own end line. Brown available for the pass. Eugene Clunan. And in the end, it's carried out over the end line by Brown. It's the game's first 65. Cyril Farrell there just on the left-hand side was telling me beforehand that they weren't going particularly well. So it's Eugene Clunan to hit this. Galway needing scores quickly. 7 minutes to go to half-time, and they're behind by 2 goals. Well, he gave it everything. It's gone just inside the left-hand post. His third point. So now 5 points the margin. Two sides have enjoyed great rivalry since '94 at minor level, and also at under-21 level last year. Greg Kennedy. Sean O'Halpine trying to get away there for the man who's been switched on to him, who was Alan Kearns. Kearns making a switch with Fergal Healy. It's now Healy top of the right. Rory Gantley. Broken down by Wayne Sherlock. Fortunate to get it up a second time. Now needing assistance, Cullinan was pressurising, still going after it. Out it comes here towards Broderick. Can be so dangerous for Galway. Hooped the first time. Brilliantly so by Derek Barrett, and in the end, Barrett from Cove concedes another 65. It's going to be Eugene Cloonan who'll hit this. 3 points so far. The last one was a 65. Wind behind him, remember. And again, a magnificent shot by Eugene Cloonan. So 2-5 to 7 points. Pat Ryan. That's Dan Murphy, Cork's captain. Down towards Darren Rowland. He was being held back by Peter Hubin, who's already had his name taken. We're in the last 30 seconds of normal time in this first half. It's Cork with a 4-point lead. Mickey O'Connell looking for his third pointed free. And again, he hits it well. Cork extend their lead. And now we must be very close to half-time. Cork had the better of it in that first half. And 2 vital goals by Joe Dean after 12 minutes and by Darren Ronan after 21 gave them the platform on which they were able to build their lead at half-time. Cork get a huge cheer going in at the break. They lead by 2-6 to Galway's 7 points.
Sometimes he can really read my mind. Knorr Pastaria pasta dishes. Pasta and delicious sauce, all in one. Enough for 2 and ready in 5 minutes. So tasty, he just can't wait. New Knorr Pastaria pasta dishes. Pasta and sauce, all in one.
New Timotei, now enriched with plant milk, reinforces your hair's natural protection. New Timotei with plant milk. Natural protection for beautiful hair.
You know the Kellogg's Fruit and Fibre that you really love?
Well, they're changing it.
Don't worry, the taste hasn't changed at all.
That's right, Alan. It's just the name. They're calling it Optima.
Because it now contains Opti-B, a complete blend of all the B vitamins.
And I do like a change.
New Kellogg's Optima Fruit and Fibre.
It's a change for the better.
For the great taste of butter without all the saturated fat, Henry swore blind he'd give half of everything he owned. Well, good news.
What?
Move over butter. A buttery tasting spread with half the saturated fat of butter. The bad news, it's payback time. Move over butter. Careful what you say.
In a life, the average person will earn over £500,000, will buy at least 8 cars, 3 houses, save 8% of their salary, spend £20,000 improving their home, 15,000 on holidays, 40,000 on clothes, over 14,000 on their family's education, and make tens of thousands of financial transactions. For more about your money and how to help you manage it, contact AIB, your own personal financial advisor.
I don't know. I mean, what's everyone going to think? Look, Grandad. Nearly everyone drinks pints.
And Galway make a change at the start of this second half. Darren Shaughnessy has come on in place of Kevin Broderick, who got a knock and of course went into the match troubled by hamstring. It seems like Shaughnessy is going to midfield. And Cork also make a change. Sean O'Farrell has come in to play corner forward in place of Johnny Flynn. And the referee has gone in straight away to speak to the players who are engaging in a minor altercation even before the second half gets underway. Pat Horan warning the new man in, Sean O'Farrell. So both sides a little unhappy then, making those changes. And Galway with lots to do. 5 points behind at half-time and playing against the wind. There was a great block down by Sean O'Halpine there against Alan Kearns. Pat Ryan is back there on his left-hand side. Shaughnessy leaving it there. Great play. Gordon Glynn towards Rory Gantley, now operating at left half forward for Galway. And the foul is committed. It was Derek Barrett, I think, who committed the little chop-down foul, and Galway get the free just inside the 45-metre line. Eugene Cloonan, second free of the second half. Dropping it over the bar, confidently this time. So 5 points in all for Eugene Cloonan, and it's 2-6 to 8 points. Towards Brian O'Driscoll. Comes back there into the waiting arms of Liam Hodgins, pursued by Timmy McCarthy. Well, into the corner, and there's nobody there for it. Bit of a race on. Fergal Healy going back there for Galway. Likewise Wayne Sherlock. It's with Healy. Galway looking for another score. Scoring opportunity here. Alan Kearns coming through. And well done by Sean O'Halpine to get the block in there. Good skill. Well, that should have been a Galway point. And the clearance is by Wayne Sherlock. Timmy McCarthy chasing. Michael Healy likewise. Gordon Glynn trying to take it up for Galway. It's a rip-roaring contest. Sideline ball for Cork. Pat Ryan to take it. Met it well towards Brian O'Driscoll. Now trying to take it by, but he was pushed in the back by Liam Hodgins. There was a little elbow used. This about 50 metres out. And the wind supporting him. He strikes it well. And confidently dispatching it over the bar for his fourth point. Stretching Cork's position. They lead by 2-7 to 8 points. Shaughnessy under it, likewise Gantley. O'Driscoll for Cork. Inside towards Darren Ronan. Trying to get there ahead of Peter Huban. Does well. A very confident strike again by Cork. Darren Ronan now with a goal and a point. That's wonderful skill. That was a very good point, and 2 goals the margin separating these teams once more. Here's how it came about. His initial pick-up was delightful. Quick step away to his right, beating Peter Huban and finding the range. Great score. Dan Murphy in there. It comes back there towards the midfielder, Austin Welsh. The clearance is out of defence there. O'Connell lobbing it in. Farrell in after it. Sean Farrell making the catch. Players looking for it. And he's buried it into the corner. And it's a third goal for Cork. Only 7 minutes gone in the second half. Well, the positioning here of Sean O'Farrell is going to be most interesting. As he received that ball there, was he inside? It certainly seemed to be. And if that's the case, of course, it should have been ruled out. Cullinan after it. Galway coming forward this time. This looks better. Cullinan's shot has just gone over the bar. His second point. Just for a moment, I think some of the Galway fans were thinking it might end up in the top of the net. Watch again here. The goalkeeper had advanced, but he just lobbed it over the bar. Got a wonderful puck out. Timmy McCarthy chasing after it. Shawnee Farrell as well. Cork's third goal scorer. Knocking it back to McCarthy. There too, however, is Darren Shaughnessy. Austin Welch cutting it in towards Darren Ronan. And that's gone just behind. Fergal Healy. In towards Eugene Clunan. Here's a chance. And he mishits it. It's still there for the taking. Donald Cusack coming out. Very steady play by the goalkeeper, tipped by Manny to be Cork's next senior goalkeeper. Liam Hodgins swinging it down towards Martin Cullinan, scorer of 2 points in this match. Ollie Canning yet to get his name on the score sheet. Dispossessed by John Brown. Kearns pressing forward. Brown waiting there for Jim O'Sullivan to come out. All this while there's a man loose inside in that Cork goal area as Rory Gantley hits it and puts it over the bar. First point for Rory Gantley since his switch to left half forward. This is Gantley advancing, couple of shoulders there, but he's a strongly built fellow, and that's hit with wonderful accuracy. The other number 5 coming across for it, Vinnie Marr, having problems there with the Cork wing forwards, in particular there Mickey O'Connell inside towards Timmy McCarthy. Good shoulder executed by Liam Hodgins. That's Finbar Gantley. Always played in this Guinness Senior Championship as well, but their hand passing out of defence puts them under trouble and into trouble because of the directness of the Cork play. Nothing coming from that. Pat Ryan going back into midfield. There's 15 minutes to go. Galway needing a couple of goals. Fergal Healy. Nicely picked up here. Alan Kearns, one of the players they're really looking to, along with Eugene Clunan. Fired back here towards Fergal Healy again. Rory Gantley picking it up. He's already got 1 point. 2 men on him here. Swings the stick and he puts it over the bar. Is that the start of a Galway recovery? Rory Gantley will hope so. 3-8 to 11 points. Hodgins coming out. He misses it completely. Brian Higgins going back there for Galway. Fresh man in. Comes back to him a second time. Finbar Gantley. It gives it away again. Poor clearance again by the Galway backs. And it's punished emphatically by Pat Ryan. A second point by Ryan. 3-9 to 11 points. But Galway the architects of their own downfall in that last particular instance. That's Rory Gantley. Martin Cullinan trying to make some headway against Dan Murphy. Murphy standing his ground there. And the referee saw a late challenge. It's going to be a free down there for Galway, I think. Clunan has 5 points so far. And that has gone away to the right. He's missed a couple in the second half. Pat Ryan taking it away there. Again towards the free taker. O'Connell, that's gone sailing over the bar. Mickey O'Connell has 5 points. This is where he was given the latitude. And with that kind of freedom, well, you'd expect him to score, and he did. And coming off is Timmy McCarthy, was hit hard some time ago and hasn't made a full recovery. John Brown racing out for this one. He's played well at cornerback. A little block on that one, but again up towards Mickey O'Connell. Very good controlled play. Brian O'Driscoll has moved in on the 40 on Michael Healy. Up to Darren Ronan. They look for another one here to seal this match. That's great play by Liam Hodgins. That was a wonderful bit of defending by Galway's number 7. Now playing at fullback. Cork were looking for their 4th goal there. And that ball is touched on the ground. The referee pointing out exactly why the free is out to Galway. But what about this for defending by Galway's number 7 as Darren Ronan was advancing. There, brilliant block away. Michael Healy with the free. Sending it down towards Kearns. Alan Kearns going to his right, back on to his left. And he's held back there. It's going to be a free in for Galway. Will they consider a goal at this stage? He may well go for it here. He probably has to, but he's put it over the bar instead. 6 points now for Eugene Clunan. And it's 3-10 to 12 points. Well, I wonder, did he go for the goal that time, but did it just come up too high for him? Galway have made another change there. And Mark Kearns has gone into full forward, being marked by Diarmuid O'Sullivan. Broken down there by O'Driscoll. Austin Walsh trying to advance. O'Shaughnessy getting it out for Galway. Remember that Galway beat Cork in the '94 minor final 3 years ago. Cork atoned somewhat a year later in the semi-final of the All-Ireland. So they were always destined to meet, I think, in the All-Ireland under-21 final. That's Dan Murphy making the clearance, going after his man as well. Up towards Joe Dean, swinging on that one. The clearance, however, by Liam Hodgins, much more assured at full back than had been the case. A little altercation in front of the Galway goal. O'Halpine drives it back in again. Darren Ronan, Greg Kennedy coming across here, the Galway corner back. And that's going to be a free out. It's been a bit tempestuous in the last few minutes, in particular in front of Galway's goal. O'Halpine under it. It breaks down, however, to Fergal Healy. Up towards Eugene Clunan. Going for the score. And he's put it over the bar. 7 points by Clunan. So now it's 3-10 to 13 points. Well, a Galway goal here would really make for a very interesting last 5 minutes. But it's Cork who have it. Austin Welch towards Darren Ronan, takes up a good position. Off Hodgins that one came, and it'll be a 65, third of this match. A very consistent free taker right throughout this championship. That time he kind of mishit it. In towards Farrell, breaks away out again. Austin Welch looking for support, getting it in there. Coleman, good block. Comes back down again to Vinnie Marr. Into the centre to Martin Cullinan. Forwards looking for it quickly. In towards Mark Kearns it goes. Fergal Healy trying to make some headway. Stopped. Again, Alan Kearns with it in there. But that Cork defence is looking stubborn. This looks a bit better for Galway, but the hand pass just a little ahead. Here's the chance. Coleman's in there. So two shot of O'Halpine. And O'Halpine making the clearance for Cork. Away to the wings. Alan Kearns across there quickly. Cork's last success at this grade was 1988. Galway the defending champions. Rory Gantley, first touch. Leaves him down and Cork get the clearance in. Farrell. Blocked by Greg Kennedy. Sean O'Farrell is on the ground, needing attention all this while as play continues. Eugene Clunan has it. One back, however, with O'Halpine here, minus the stick. But he's a very good footballer. Of course, he played in this year's National Football League final. About 3.5 minutes remaining. It's going to be Brian Higgins who will hit this one. Back again by Walsh. O'Farrell happily recovered. Tries to turn his man in there. It was Liam Hodgins. Gets his shot in, and it's gone over the bar. That's a goal and a point now for Sean O'Farrell. There may have been a touch of the square ball about the goal, but there was absolutely nothing wrong with the point. Galway about to lose their crown. Austin Welch. Ryan again. What a match he's played. Back to Wayne Sherlock. Greg Kennedy and Joe Dean under that one. It'll be a puck out for Galway. And they're all just about ready to come on and celebrate their first success at this level since 1988. Cork are the under-21 champions. They had 2 goals in the first half. And their third after 7 minutes of the second by substitute Sean O'Farrell, the number 19, who added a point later on. And the champions of last year are beaten. The full-time score, Cork 3-11, Galway 13 points.
Cógáideachas speisialta le Corcaigh. Tá Coran Craobh na Héireann ag dul ar eis go Corcaigh don chéadúir sa ranóg seo san rád faoi bhlianas fé don chéadúir ó 1988. Agus tá siad tar éis écht stairiúil a dhéanamh an seo inniu. An chéad chundé a bhuaigh céad Craobh na Héireann. Cógáideachas le Corcaigh. Mar sin gan a héile maile Brunham trophy faoi bhlianas fé Amaniacht na Héireann, the Craobh na Héireann, Captain Corcaigh, Dan Murphy.
So the GAA captain, Galway man himself, Joe McDonough, presenting the trophy to Dan Murphy. Cork get the trophy. It's also their 100th championship win down through the years.
I'm not too worried about what the trophy is like, to be honest, whether it's a cup or a statue or whatever, but certainly it's a great day. We produced a great performance today, and one we were waiting for all year, and we got it in the best day to get it, the All-Ireland final.
We've been working since last February, and it was a lot of hard work. The skill was there, and I think the passion was there today. It was an important victory for Cork hurling to win this under-21 title, and I'm delighted for everybody concerned.
It seemed to me that you had an edge there today, not least because you had so many matches played this season, which Galway didn't have.
Oh yeah, undoubtedly a big advantage. We had a tough Munster campaign. Match against Wexford was very, you know, a hard game, and I think it stood to us today. Galway were, I think, you know, not as sharp as us because they had an easy passage to the final, and I think that road that we had to follow was the vital factor.
Yeah, we were very disappointed, Ger. Like on the day the better team won, we'd have no excuses. Cork, both teams, like it's kind of the minor thing coming through again. We took one, they took one, and on the day, better team won.
What pleased you most about today's success? It's Cork's first win at this grade since 1988.
Well, I like to feel that any team I'm involved with play with a lot of passion, and I think this Cork team today are going out. They just were not going to be beaten. And Dan Murphy went into the game with an injury that very few players in the country would have played with. And John Flynn played on in the first half with a serious injury. And Timmy McCarthy, when he got injured, refused to come off for a while. But that showed the intensity of the players. Like, these are the future of Cork. A lot of these fellas are going to make it senior. And, you know, it's one step on the road back.
Do you see some of those players making it to the senior team? Some of them are already there, I know.
Ah, yeah, Ger, we'd know them well from minor. Like, we won 3 years ago against them. The next year they beat us. Like, and last year we beat them on 21. Now they've beaten us. So, like, the formers following through. Most of them, as I'd say, Jim Barry Murphy, was very happy for Bertie Oak Murphy. Like, the supply line is still there. But after saying that, Ger, it doesn't matter even losing the final once the standard is right. Clare last Sunday won a great All-Ireland, and them guys didn't win under 21 at all.
It would be foolish to say just because we won a 21 All-Ireland that we're going to come back next year and win a senior. Hopefully it'll be a building point, and it's something to build on. To win a minor All-Ireland is good, but you know, when you're winning 21 All-Irelands, you're really going the right direction. But it's going to take an awful lot of hard work.
So is the message official to the rest of the country? Cork are back.
Well,
yeah, they think so. Well, Galway had won their title impressively last year, and with most of that team still intact, they were determined to hold on to it this afternoon. However, there was little doubting the strength and the all-round superiority of that Cork performance today. As I said to you earlier on, Tomás Mulcahy and Eamon Cregan are with us in the studio tonight. Tomás, first of all, congratulations to Cork tonight. Now, the point was made there in the interviews, it doesn't guarantee success at senior level, obviously, but nonetheless, with things thin to the ground at senior level the last couple of years, it is important.
Yes, I've no doubt about that, and you must give credit to the lads today. When you're going in and you're representing Cork in an All-Ireland final today, and as you said, without successes down through the last number of years, there's a lot of pressure on, and I must say they played with tremendous passion today, as Bertie Oak said himself, and the selectors and the coach must take great credit for that, because there was a never-say-die attitude in their performance. They hurled very, very strongly in defence, and the forwards who have been criticised in the past for not finishing games and not getting a lot of scores chalked up 3-11 today, which I'm sure was a great, which was a great score, and I'm sure we'll be looking to the future. As you say, there's no guarantee of success, but what we've seen this year with our senior performance against Clare, an under-21 victory now, maybe we can gel a team together, and it won't be too long before we're back again.
Yeah, that struck me about that match, Eamon, was that Galway were clearly trying as hard as they could today, and there was a lot of good hurling in it. Just weren't able to get to grips with Cork. It was a good competitive match, though.
It was a competitive match, there's no doubt about that. Galway tried everything, but things seemed to go wrong for them. They tried a short free in the second half. The first touch of Rory Gantley fell through. And simple things like that went wrong. And when things like that go wrong, it spreads throughout the team. And when that happens, they begin to lose heart.
I suppose you're forced into errors as well then if you're kept under enough pressure.
Oh yes, Galway were forced into errors because the Cork players were, as Tomas said, played with tremendous passion, and they chased and they harried and they blocked.
Tomas, let's look at Cork's goals first of all, and we're going to look at the first 2 goals. The first one was a superb goal by Joe Dean, and both of these came in the first half, and Cork were playing against the wind, and you were making the point this is important.
It's very important. Obviously, when you're playing against the wind, you're telling your backs, don't concede any soft scores. But also, you must be telling your forwards, every chance we get, we must take. And here we see, again, it's a great delivery into the corner. Gregory Kennedy does very well. He actually picks the ball, goes to strike. But again, look, you must look at Joe Dean here. He actually picks it very, very quick. He's a goal poacher supreme, and that's a tremendous finish. He did the hard work himself there. He actually hooked the defender from clearing the ball and actually picks and buries it to the back of the net.
There was a bit of a question about the second goal now. Let's have a close look at this.
Yes, there's a great build-up to it. There we see Sean O'Calpine coming out. Watches behind him. He knows he's going to be hooked. Sees the forward in front of him, into Timmy McCarthy. He takes it on further. Again, you can see Joe Dean coming into the picture on the left-hand side, into Joe Dean. People want to say it's a bad shot by Joe Dean, but he's actually blocked by the defender. It comes across to Darren Ronan. Now, people have said today that Darren was in the square when the ball came across. If we see it again, you can see Darren on the left-hand side. He's just on the edge of the square. It's a very, very hard one to call. I don't think people could actually argue with that. His momentum carries him through to get to the ball, and I think it was a fair goal.
I'd say it would be a goal. It would be very hard to deny him that particular score, looking at it from that point of view.
Yes, in a situation like that, when the ball breaks off the defender, I mean, it's pure instinct and a pure reaction from Darren in that situation to actually chase the ball forward and into the back of the net.
The third goal coming up now, there's a bigger question about this one, I think.
Yes, Sean O'Farrell came on in the field in the second half, made a big, big impact, and here we can see it. I think it comes from a long delivery from Michael O'Connell. And as you see, he's backing back into the goal, but maybe he does catch the ball inside in the square, and it's a tremendous shot, a tremendous finish to the back of the net. But if we see it again, I think in slow motion, in close-up, people will question. He does catch the ball at the edge of the square. But give credit to Sean Farrell, he wasn't to know that himself. He turns and puts it on a stop.
There.
A lot of steps, yeah. Maybe he was being held a little bit, but again, you have 2 umpires on the post that see situations like that.
Yeah.
It's up to them to react. You have a referee on the field as well to call situations like that. As I say, Sean O'Farrell wasn't to know that, but maybe it was a square goal.
Well, yeah, the goals are got. The goals are on the scoreboard. That's all that matters at the end. Eamon, with Cork in that kind of scoring form that they were today, Galway needed to be getting every chance. And from their point of view, that was not the case.
Yeah, I felt that Galway lacked penetration throughout the game. And time and time again, when they broke through, at the last minute, they were stopped, or they took a shot and they missed it. Now, there's an example here where Kearns makes tremendous work. He gets the ball, Cloonan flicks it on. Kearns goes past his man, he shoots, goes out to the right, and then he takes a shot. Now, looking at it, I thought that was in the back of the net until it shot across the goals. Now, here's another example of just why Galway weren't doing well. Cloonan slices his shot. Now, for Eugene Cloonan to slice his shot, it's very hard to believe he'd do something like that. But that was pressure that Cork put on them and prevented Galway from scoring.
Yeah. Mind you, if there were scores missed and opportunities missed, there was also scores taken, and some great scores taken in this game, Tomas.
Yes, there's some great high scoring on both sides, you know, and there was a tremendous hurling advert for the game again, as I say. I mean, there were some great scores. We saw tremendous scores by Cork in the first half, and credit to Galway, they came back very, very strong in the second half, and they got some excellent scores as well from play.
You've picked out one of those, just as a little example here now, one of your own men.
That's right. I think it's, again, Darren Ronan. This is a tremendous delivery into the full forward. But if you watch here, watch his first touch. It's excellent. The one-hand pick-up, turns to his right, and for me, that was the score of the game today. It was an excellent point and well taken by Darren. As you see it again, his first touch is excellent. Turns the defender, turns to his right and over the bar, and that was a tremendous point.
Yeah, that's a lovely little skill. I mean, it was beautifully done there. Cork also, Eamon, defended very well. It wasn't always the prettiest at times, but it was very, very effective, and they did the job they had to do.
Yes, indeed. OK, a defender's job is to defend and to prevent scores from being scored. And I think Cork did it well. But at times, they used their body to do it. They used their hurley, they hooked, they blocked. And there's an example coming up now where the ball comes in, and Kevin Broderick was injured today, and you can see from here that he's just not on his game at all. In a senior match now, he would jinx his way through, but unfortunately there are 3 Cork men around him. He throws up the ball and they're hooked. And at all times, there are 3 Corkmen there stopping them. Here's an example where there's a pull in the jersey, there's a twist around the neck, which I think should have been a free for Galway. But referee doesn't blow it, Kearns goes through, and a beautiful flick by O'Halpine away. Now, that's a skill that Kilkenny are awfully capable of doing, and Halpine did it beautifully there and cleared his lines.
Tomas, we were looking at a Cork score earlier on as an example of good skill. You have one picked out from Galway on the other side of it. The difference here being perhaps that on a day when Galway needed goals, they were only getting nice points at times.
That's right. I think Galway today lacked a bit of penetration up front. Big performance from Eugene Clune, I'm sure they were expecting today, but he was well tied down by Dermot O'Sullivan in the full back line. But they moved him to corner forward in the second half, and I thought the move benefited him very well. Here we see him out on the left-hand wing, picking the ball, turning to his left hand, and that was a tremendous score. And as I said, there were some tremendous scores in the second half of this game today. Maybe if they had moved him earlier on, you know, it might have benefited Galway even better. But that's a tremendous score. And I mean, he's only 18 years of age. There's a tremendous future in front of this guy, and he's going to be a tremendous player. He's done an awful lot of hurling in the last 2 years for a young lad. For a young lad, certainly has done an awful lot of hurling. And again today, as I say, he was maybe well shackled by Dermot O'Sullivan, but his move out to the corner did benefit him, and he came more into the game at that stage.
OK, next we're going to come to our man of the match. Eamon Cregan is picking the man of the match. We're thinking if Tomas was asked to pick it, he'd give it to a Galway man because he's that kind of fella. So Eamon, who did you pick?
Well, there were some tremendous performances on both sides. I thought Sean O'Halpine played well. I thought Dermot O'Sullivan played well, and Mike O'Connell from Cork played well as well. I also thought on the Galway side, Greg Kennedy played extremely well, Michael Healy at centre back, and Rory Gantley played well in the half forward line. But the man for me was Pat Ryan. He's playing with Sarsfields. Yeah. He's had a tremendous game. He's on top of his game at the moment. He's playing with Sarsfields in the county final in 2 weeks' time. But for his general play, he's striking, and his delivery to the forwards. And again, he's playing at centre field, and there's no nonsense type of thing. Ball comes out, he lifts it, and he doesn't catch it. He just hand passes it up, and he strikes a beautiful, beautiful point. Now, that's the type of play that all centre fielders should be playing, because it's very simple. It moves the ball quickly. Here's the clearance from the Galway defence. He's there, and on his left side. He's not a one-sided player, he's a two-sided player. He strokes the ball over the bar. Now, to me, he definitely was man of the match.
All right, now congratulations indeed to Pat. Now, before we close in our hurling analysis for this evening, I want to look ahead. I said there's one big game left now in the hurling year, the National League final. One more chance to us left for Galway to produce something out of this.
Yes, it's an important game, I suppose, for Galway, because I mean, with their under-21s, with their senior, they've put an awful lot of effort into the championship this year. They've been very impressive in the league to date, up to the semi-final stage. There's one more step to go on it now at this stage, and I'm sure Cyril will be trying to get the boys back into action very, very quickly, and to try and get a victory under their belt, because it is an important one for them. There's a lot of young talent within Galway, I have no doubt about that, but they need to be winning a bit of silverware as well.
Eamon, I suppose from your own point of view, Limerick being this final is an interesting situation. If they win it, Tom Ryan is going to stay on as the manager. If they lose it...
You're really trying to stir it her. I hope Limerick win it, because I know a lot of the lads there. Yeah. But okay, whoever wins it, if Galway win it, it'll be good for Galway. If Limerick win it, it'll be great for Limerick. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. I don't know this thing about Galway losing a lot. Their seniors haven't lost anything this year except that particular All-Ireland semi-final. But Limerick need a win just as well as anybody else. And I'm hoping that Tom and the lads will do it.
Overall, this year's hurling championship, in the context of the second chance for this year, turned out to be Tipperary and Kilkenny. How do you think all that worked?
Well, let me put it this way: if Tipperary and Kilkenny went into the All-Ireland final, I don't think the experiment would have worked. And the fact that Clare and I've got a blackout now. Clare and Tipperary got into the final, and Clare won.
Yes,
it has worked. No, I don't believe that the losers should be allowed in. But it's an experiment that has to go another 12 months.
Tomas, briefly?
Yes, I suppose it's worked out in everybody's favour, because Clare are deserving All-Ireland champions. But I mean, when you look back at the season, we've had some tremendous games. Maybe the highlight of the season has been the game between Galway and Kilkenny in Thurles this year. I mean, it was a tremendous game as well. But it has been brilliant for live television. It has been brilliant for the youth of the country. I mean, you see a lot more guys going playing hurling in the streets at this stage. That has to be good for the game. As Eamon said, if you had seen the likes of Kilkenny or Tipperary in the final through a backdoor system, I think there would be an awful lot of objections against it. It hasn't turned out that way. clear All-Ireland champions, and deservedly so. They had the hardest games this year. They came out on top. So it's there for another 12 months. What it brings from a further 12 months remains to be seen. I suppose if people had one argue, would be over the National League, concluding the National League the time it is being concluded after the All-Ireland series. I think when the All-Ireland finishes, that should be the end of it. Maybe to start the championship or league should be finished at that stage.
Thomas Mackay, Eamon Cregan, thank you very much. Now here's a reminder of the day's main Gaelic Games results. And we start with confirmation of the scoreline in that All-Ireland final. In Thurles today, Cork 3-11, Galway 13 points. Now this is the All-Ireland B football. Wexford 113, Waterford 12 points. OK, next now we're going to have a look at some of the county final results, and this is in football. In Dublin, victory for Erin's Isle, beating St Sylvester's by 210 to 111. Up in Tyrone, Ergol Kieran are the champions after beating Galway 114 to 2-5. And in Westmeath, victory for Moat, 211 their score against Carlstown Kinnegad 1-9. More county final results for you. Over in Kildare, Clane 13 points, Sarsfields 8 points, and in Louth, Stavan and Parnell's 12 points, and St Mary's of Ardee 1-6. Continuing on, up in Down, Burren 210, Clonduff 12 points, Clontibret 11 points. This is in Monaghan, Castle Blaney 8 points. Then over in Sligo, Turlestrand 16 points, Eastern Harps 8, and in Wexford, Clark 212, Adamstown 7 points. In Longford, victory for Father Manning Gales against Longford.